In today's tutorial we're going to make a very easy granny square dishcloth. This is for beginners and beyond. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on a Bernat Handy Crafter or Sugar, Lily and Cream dishcloth. It's the cotton yarns made by Yarnspirations. You're only going to need one ball in order to do this. Now you'll notice that the ball that they've used in the example is variegated, but today we're going to use a solid color. That's completely up to you. Today I'm going to show you how easy it is to work on this pattern. You can use a 6mm crochet hook or a size J, but in today's tutorial I'm going to reduce down even further to a 5mm size H, and that's just because it's a preference for me. So as long as the hook complements the yarn, you cannot go wrong at any time. So without further ado, let's get started on working on this pattern together. So let's quickly review why you would use Sugar, Lily and Cream or Bernat Handy Crafter, and that's because it's cotton yarn. So cotton yarn is designed for the kitchen. It is made 100% of cotton. It is grown in the United States as well as spun and dyed here in North America. So this is a yarn that you can use in the kitchen. You can use it for scrubbing dishes. You can use these as tea towels. You can do these as coasters. You can also use these as pot holders. And there's a lot more other applications that you can use for these. Because it is cotton, it is machine washable, and the colors really do hold out on these things because they are made of cotton, and they look really quite nice and vibrant. So if you're in the store shelves, just look for Sugar, Lily and Cream or Bernat Handy Crafter, and you cannot go wrong if you're looking for cotton yarn. So let's create a slip knot. This is for beginners, so I will take my time. Point your finger like this and wrap the yarn around your finger twice. Okay, so that the start of the yarn is in the forward of your hand, and then just grab everything so it's nice and tight here. I want you to move this string over, just put it over top, but not over top of your finger, just over top of the first one. Then take the second one and just go up and over top of your finger, just like that. Let me show you one more time. So wrap the finger, squeeze, take the back one, move it up over the forward, and then take the new back one and up and over. I want you to insert your crochet hook. Now the reason why I reduced my hook today is that you can get tighter stitches when you reduce the hook. So I reduced it down to 5mm instead of a 6mm. Without further ado, let's get started now on the pattern. Let's begin by working on a chain. We're going to yarn over and do 4 chains. So just yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 and 4, and we need to form the center ring of the dishcloth. So we're going to insert the hook into the beginning chain like so, yarn over and pull through like this, and now you have the very center of the ring of your dishcloth. Let's move along to row number 1. Okay, we're going to start by doing the first revolution around the center ring. We're going to start by chaining 5. So you yarn over and pull through. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so of 5, the 3 counts as a double crochet, so then 4 and 5. Okay, so you'll see why I've done that in just a sec, why I've said it that way. So now what I want you to do is that I want you to yarn over and put in 3 double crochets into the center ring itself. So yarn over, going into the center of the ring, and making sure that this string here is round the ring. This is your starting string, so it'll get stuck underneath. Pull through 2 and 2. So do that again. So yarn over, middle, pull through 2 and 2. Yarn over, going in the middle, pull through 2 and 2. So in the corners of these particular squares, you're always going to do the same thing. You're always going to put in some chain work. So we're going to put 2 chains, so 1 and 2, and coming back into the center of the ring, I want you to put 3 more double crochets. So 1, and you're going to naturally rotate the project on itself as you're going around this ring. So now you got 3 in here. So there's another side. You can see it kind of coming together. Chain 2, which is a corner, and then coming back into the center of the ring, I want you to double crochet 3 times. So 1, 2 and 3. Okay, chain 2 because it's a corner. And now that we're coming all the way around, we can see that we have 3 sides. We have a partial of a beginning of a 4th, but it's not done. So when we come into the center of the ring again, we're only going to double crochet 2 times this time instead of 3. So 1 and 2, and the reason for that is that the chaining of 5, 3 of them are a double crochet, and the extra 2 are the chain 2. So in the third chain up, just count it, just insert into the chain, not around the gap space itself, into the chain, pull through and through. And so you can see all 4 sides of your granny square are now done. Let's move along to the next round. So let's move along to the next round. We want to slip stitch into this beginning round. So we're just gonna go right into the hole, yarn over, pull through and through. And now that takes you right to the side corner, as you can see. And now I want you to chain 5 again. So 1, 2, 3, which is a double crochet, then 4 and 5, which is your chain 2. Coming to the same space, I want you to double crochet 3 times. Right into that same space, we're gonna create a brand new corner. So the only difference is you're getting bigger on these granny squares is that there's gonna be more distance in between the corners. So when we are in between, all we just need to do is that we have to chain 1 and come into a next space over here, which happens to be a corner. So all the corners are gonna be the same. There's gonna be 3 double crochets. So let's do that slowly. So 1, 2 and 3, and now that we've done that, we're gonna turn the corner, so you have to chain 2 and come back into the same space and put in 3 more double crochets. Just like this. So every time you're in the midway point, not a corner, you're always gonna chain 1 before jumping to the next space. In this case, we just happen to have another corner, so the corner thing is gonna happen again. So 3 double crochets to start, followed by chain 2, so you can turn the corner, coming back into the same space for another 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. So what's gonna happen now in the spaces between the corners? You have to chain 1 first, then jump to the next space, and this happens to be another corner again. So as you get bigger, the corners get further and further away from you, and we'll be covering that in the next round to show you what to do. So we're turning the corner, chain 2, coming back into the same space so we can turn. Okay, so what do we have to do? We have to chain 1 first because that's gonna get us to the next space. So the final space, we already have 1 done, so we're only gonna put in 2 double crochets this time. So 1 and 2, and we're gonna slip stitch to the third chain up. So 1, 2 and 3, like that, and that concludes that round. Okay, so that's what it looks like at this point. So let's move along to the next round. So to start another round, here we're gonna go again. So we're gonna come right into the corner space, the next one, pull through that one and the loop. Now we're gonna start again. So it's chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. First 3 are double crochet, the other 2 are a chain 2 space. Coming into the same space, we're gonna double crochet 3 times. So 1, 2 and 3. So now that in order to jump to the next space, we always have to chain 1 first, then come in. So now we have a space before you're gonna get to a corner. So in the spaces, they're always gonna be the same, just 3 double crochets sitting into that same space, followed by chain 1, and then you're in a corner again. So the corners are what? 3 double crochet, then 2 chain, then 3 double crochets. That's right. So what do we need to do to jump to the next space? We have to chain 1 first, then come into the space. How many's in there? It's 3 double crochets. So it's a very easy pattern to remember for counts. You just gotta remember the number 3. So we have to jump to the next space, so we have to chain 1 first, then come into a corner. Corners are 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So what is the difference between this round and all of the other rounds that you're gonna do? The difference is that the corners will be more spaced apart from each other, therefore there's gonna be more distance and more spaces in between. So as long as you know how to chain 1 first before jumping to the next space and then doing 3 double crochets, then you're good to go. You just have more spaces to work with, that's all. So chain 1, next one happens to be a corner. Corners are always gonna be the same in this particular pattern. 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, chain 1, come into the next space, 3 double crochet, and the next corner that we're gonna run into is already partially done from when we started. So we chain 1 first, coming into the final corner we're just gonna put in only 2 double crochets and then join it to the 3rd chain up. So just insert into the 3rd chain, yarn over, pull through and through. So that concludes that revolution. So let me show you just a starting of one, and then I'll show you how to finish off the round in order to, when you get to the size that you need. So start the next round, insert into the space, pull through, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 3 double crochets into the same space. So this time there's going to be an additional space between the corners that was added because of the last round. So remember, you just gotta chain 1 to get to the next space. So this time you see that there's 2 spaces before a corner, so you're just gonna play in those spaces. Followed by chain 1, come into the next space for 3, followed by a chain 1, then the corner. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna have you continue to go around. You should know exactly what to do by now, and I'm gonna show you how to finish this off so that you have no tails hanging out of your work. It's because once you start washing with this, if your tails are not secured in, they are definitely gonna fall out as you're doing your dishes. So go all the way around just like I've shown you, and I'll see you back here and I'll show you how to finish this off. So I'm coming up all the way back around. I'm gonna come into my very last space that's already partially started from the way that I started, and I'm only gonna put in 2 double crochets at that point and then just slip stitch to the 3rd chain up. So let me show you how to finish this off. So this is what it looks like at this point. So it says to do 9 revolutions. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see that it would get much bigger. You can stop when you think that this dishcloth is big enough for yourself. I think it's really quite big myself. So I'm gonna cut the strand about 12 inches long using my scissors, and I want to grab a darning needle next. So I'm going to take the string and yarn it over and pull through the loop like so. Because I've already cut it, it will all come out. And what I want to do is that I want to feed the yarn into the darning needle, and in order for these tails not to fall out, you should weave them in 3 times. So coming back in the direction from which you were crocheting, I want you to go back underneath the fibers, okay, right into the fibers itself, in for 1, turn around, go into a different space from where you came out of, and go back in the same direction. So this is 2, and then turn around one more time, go into a different path, and underneath the fibers, don't go on an edge because then you'll see it, and 3. So now this will never fall out on itself because it's been weaved in 3 times. So now you can safely cut it right down to the beginning like so, because it's underneath the stitch work. The one that was in the middle here, because I had you bury it when you went around, you can safely cut that right down, and now you have a project of a dishcloth with no tails hanging out of it. So this is how you do a very simple granny square dishcloth, and I hopefully you enjoy this pattern. And until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. Have a great day. We'll see you again real soon.